Alright, this is my 1967 VW bus. It's a deluxe 13 window. It originally was Lotus White. It has been lowered with an adjustable front beam, and it has a Wolfsburg West lowering rear end. It is drum brakes all the way around. That is a 1968 412 ratio transmission in the back that allows you to drive highway speeds. So it does have bug drums in the back, and it uses adapters to get to the back to the wide 5 pattern that would have been for the wheels on a Volkswagen bus. People have been asking me about rust and things like that. It has the telltale rust along the window, especially on this passenger one. Not as bad on the drivers, but still some stuff there that needs to be addressed. Up in the rain gutters, there's a little bit of bubbling starting in some spots, but mostly it's surface and not terribly pitted or anything. Nothing too terrible. The front end, I stripped this thing down in 1996 to the metal. No body work on it. It's not been wrecked. It is not, I don't know if you can tell down there, it's not rusting and coming apart. Down here in the front, there are some rock chips and things like that that have let a little rust get in there. Can't see exactly what I'm doing here, but this all appears to be in pretty good shape. It has a little bit of body work on it because I ran into something when I slid off the road on an icy day in Colorado, but it wasn't too bad. The worst part about the front floor pan up here is right here on the passenger side. I don't know if you can see, but there's some holes in that floor pan there, and some old body work and stuff right here that has chipped away over time. The center portion of it is in really good shape right there. And the driver's side's in better shape than the passenger side, so this is the worst side when it comes to that. The rocker panels down here have started bubbling up on me. It has been in the garage, so it's been largely out of the water for quite some time. But let's get this open. I'd pull this up and show you everything underneath here, but once upon a long time ago I put like a Rhino liner type substance on this, and this padding is kind of stuck down here, and it's just not a chore that I want to take on. But the floor from underneath doesn't look terribly bad. I know this is an area that gets a lot of rust, and you can see, I mean, it's got some surface rust in it. There's a little hole through right there, but it is not a rusted out rust bucket. Somebody asked me about the bottom side of the doors, so let's see if we can get down here and check out the bottom side of these doors. So a little bit of rust, again, not a rust bucket, and the bottom side of this door, again, does have a little bit showing up there, but nothing horrible. A little bit right there in the corner. I've been asked about the inside rockers as well. These were not bad when I originally had the car done in 1996. This started bubbling up afterwards, and when I noticed it, I put it in the garage, and I didn't realize that it was going to continue rusting. People have been asking about the jack-up points right here and right back here. To me, they look pretty good. I don't know if you can see the bottom side of this thing very well from this video. Sorry about my finger there. But really, to me, I'm no expert on Volkswagens, but the floor pan on this thing looks pretty reasonable. And I was asked about the inner rockers, so I'm going to do the best I can to get an inner rocker shot. And I'll do the same for the other side in just a minute. Just so we can see, these are the wheel wells. I hope you can see that. They've never been treated anything special. If I did anything, I might have rattle canned them black or something 25 years ago. The back wheel well, there is some body work in this region. I didn't do the body work. It had it when I got it, and the paint shop, took it out and redid it. So it did have a little bit of damage right there. So I'm sure that's still there. I can't remember much else on this panel. Here's the inside wheel wells on this. You can see here, this is where the battery sits. And this is an old repair done by somebody right here, where this battery sits. I've been asked about these lower corners and stuff, and I don't know how well you can see them. They have a little bit of body work in them. I remember that because they had a few bumps and dings in them. Let's see if we can get inside here. As stated in my ad, the fuel pump and everything needs to be rerun correctly. I was just trying to get an engine in there so I could test it. But you can see where somebody has replaced this. And again, this happened before I got it 26 years ago. From what I know about Volkswagens, that's just pretty common. I have a close-up picture of the VIN number that is there. And then here's the inside of the other side. It's still in really good shape. Down here, the engine bay really is pretty good. It is Rust-Oleum gray, done with the rattle can by me 26 years ago. But I recently had the engine out and everything looked really good in there. It could be cleaned up a little better than what I've done. Same thing, this on the outside. You can see down here, it's not bubbling up, it's not rusty. Inside, this is the inside driver rear right here. There is a valve cover gasket leak. I just don't have any laying around. I already replaced it because we all know that takes 30 seconds. Now, I do have the original spears that go down there. I chose not to put them on back in the day because I was wanting to avoid punching holes in the rockers because I knew these were the areas that would cause problems. You can see the bubbling. And I have not stripped this off to see exactly how bad that is. It was not bad 26 years ago, but that was 26 years ago, and this was my daily. And so it does have some bubbling going on there. Inside front driver's side, the jack up point. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to take you down the center of the bus here, where the heater channel is, so you can kind of get an idea. Okay, so here's the jack up point inside fender here on the driver's side, and then going down the floor pan on the driver's side. You can see some of that black stuff that I put on there years ago, peeking through a little hole there. These are where the seats used to attach, and I think that's a pretty common small issue for them to have in those areas. But the inside rocker, again, people have been asking about, and I hadn't crawled down around here and looked, but it looks way better than the outside rocker. And I just don't know if we take this paint off exactly how deep this rust is here. I don't think it's as bad as it looks, just because when it bubbles behind paint, it looks nasty. Inside the vents here, the paint is starting to come away. So I don't think, I mean, it's going to probably be just some surface rust back there. It has all the original German glass on it that was reinstalled upside down, backwards, and inside out by me 25 years ago. The frames on these windows are starting to show a little rust through, primarily because they were spray painted by me and not clear coated and anything like that. So they should probably be taken apart and done again. We got a little rust in this channel right here. A little rust on the frame here. The driver's side, we're starting to get some bubbles right down in here. Nothing's going all the way through that I can tell. This is pretty crunchy right here. This is the area of most concern. It's right there. I said I'd show you the driver's side stuff. Multimeter. I was trying to figure out why the blinkers didn't work. Real easy. There's no light bulbs in them, so I'm going to try to rectify that later. I don't remember taking them out, but hey, that's what life is. I forget things. So, driver's side. There we go. You You can kind of see all the way down. There's a hole right here, and it looks like a little bit of pookie right around here or something. Again, this looks all solid right here, inside the wheel well down here. If you were wondering if the horn works, the answer is no. It is a lowered 1967 Volkswagen bus, and it doesn't matter how many times I wired this back together, I would run into something and drag the steering box right there across it and break those wires apart again. So, you know, you just stop at some point. But this is underneath the front here. I hope you can see. Kind of giving you an idea. You know, it's got a coat of surface rust, which you would expect from anything from 1967. But generally speaking, this is not a rust bucket that's been sitting down on the coast forever. I'm seeing right here, in full disclosure, that's the, well, yeah, that's the passenger side wheel well, so you can see up through it and you can see some light in there, just so you can tell what's going on. I don't know what else you might want to see on this thing. It is not coated in hail damage or anything like that. The top is in really good shape. Like I said, the front has not been wrecked. So all in all, for the age and being pretty much original metal, I say it's pretty good. The headliner and stuff like that, there's the front. The seats are in desperate need of being recovered. I pulled this one out so we can see the tags. Since I'm in here, we might as well look at the tags. There's the VIN plate right up here, which is still there, matches the title. There's the, whatever this tag is called, right back here. This is why I have the seat pulled out. There are no rear seats in my bus. There never was since the day I got it. I built these wonderfully interesting storage cabinets. So I've got stereo down here and room to store stuff in here. And then, you know, it's a Volkswagen bus. It was my daily driver. So I carried all my spare parts in here and in here. And I could rearrange these as needed. These are not currently attached. The interior, I traced the original panels, just went over masonite and coated it in tweed myself. And I got lazy, so I didn't reattach all of it correctly. But all the panels are kind of there. You can see some of the inside seals are starting to pop off. I never put those corner panels in right there. I glued and finished the headliner, I'm pretty sure, in the back, and it was my daily, and I just started driving it, and never quite finished putting that stuff in. The hinge covers, I have a set of hinge covers right there. That's the hinge covers down in there. Not the thing that's all dirty, but the thing next to them. Yeah, that's what it looks like. The package tray thing is in here up in the front. Oh, the gas or speedo, the needle is broken off. I was driving it one day when it was negative 27 outside, and it just went tink, and it fell off. That was after I defrosted my fuel line with a hairdryer. Can't remember if the fuel gauge works or not. The tachometer that's in here does work. I do have a rattling around oil temperature gauge, and I have the dipstick plug that goes with it that I ran so I could track the oil. I don't currently have the dipstick plug connected up. And yeah, I'm not pushing on the brakes anymore because they don't release when I do, and I had to take the front passenger side wheel off the other day and knock the brakes around a little bit to get it so I could pull it forward and backwards again. So not messing with the brakes. Yep, that's it. Hopefully I covered everything.